For all the accolades for US-based internet technology giants like Amazon.com and Facebook, the real king of the digital hill lies thousands of miles to the east in China, the home of Alibaba. There's really no doubting that sentiment. Alibaba is the largest e-commerce company on Earth, with its three primary e-commerce sites, Taobao, Tmall, and Alibaba.com, engaging tens of millions of online users daily. So how big is Alibaba? How does 674 million active users each year sound? Or 755 million mobile users? Or 376 billion Chinese yuan in revenues each year? That's $54 billion in US dollars. No doubt about it, Alibaba is a huge e-commerce success story that continues to grow. How did the company take wing and soar to historically record-breaking commercial heights? It's a story worth telling, and it's a story primarily written by a visionary founder who saw a marketing opening in internet-based e-commerce and took full advantage. Technically, Alibaba was founded in December 1999 by Jack Ma, former schoolteacher, who spearheaded a group of 18 tech pioneers whose initial goal was to leverage the power of the wholesale internet marketplace. The founders hammered out Ma's real-world vision of a China-based e-commerce company that could deliver to the country's 730 million internet users on an efficient and timely basis. Just like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak launching Apple out of Jobs' Palo Alto, California home, the Alibaba Group laid out Alibaba in a small apartment in Hangzhou, China. But Ma had laid out his own vision for the company first. Born September 10, 1964, in Hangzhou, Ma's initial career goal was to become an English teacher, as the demand for learning the English language was just taking off among capitalistic-minded Chinese consumers. While Ma eventually did land a teaching job, it didn't last long. He transitioned to a career in business, and after being turned down for a job as a manager at Kentucky Fried Chicken in China, he traveled to the U.S. with the intent on enrolling in his dream school, Harvard University. Ma's quest for an Ivy League degree was derailed after he began using the internet and soon noticed a decided absence of Chinese companies engaging in the burgeoning e-commerce marketplace. Soon he started a website that focused on China commerce and was soon approached by Chinese investors who shared Ma's vision for a Far East-based e-commerce company. He opened another company called China Pages, and revenues picked up immediately. Within 3 years, China Pages was valued at $1 million. With China Pages, Jack Ma had the broad contours of a major China-based business-to-business online e-commerce site and took the idea to various investors and partners. With $35 million in venture funding in his back pocket, he and his partners rolled out Alibaba in late 1999, just before the old century rang out and a new one rang in. But before moving forward, let's take a few steps back to understand Alibaba's value proposition. As China opened up to foreign trade in 1979, a large untapped pool of worker became available to international companies. Before long, China became a popular offshoring destination for manufacturing industries. But China's regulation was harsh on those enterprises who wished to trade with Chinese partners. Under the system of joint ventures, companies were forced to establish a hybrid company. Of course, that was possible to large companies who had sufficient funds and expertise to develop such a long-lasting relationship. But traditional overseas manufacturers had to resort to the services of import houses since they couldn't afford starting production facilities in China. On the other side, SMBs and small entrepreneurs in China, who were not large enough to get noticed by international firms, had limited access to international markets. To those businesses, Alibaba offered a simple, fast, and convenient way of finding international buyers, effectively bypassing all the legislative trouble previously mentioned. Like its rival Amazon, Alibaba chose to monetize its B2B platform by charging commissions on transactions. They offer annual subscriptions for sellers willing to fine-tune their personal shop, like SEOs and larger product listings. However, the two heavyweights of e-commerce differ fundamentally in their approach to partnership. Amazon launched the Fulfilled by Amazon offer, aimed at leveraging their state-of-the-art logistic chain for smaller businesses. Alibaba, on the contrary, holds no warehouses and remains a pure platform player, merely providing access to a pool of buyers and sellers. Alibaba had opened for business at an opportune time. By the start of the 21st century, the idea of shopping online for goods and services had genuine appeal to consumers. There was no need to get into the car or go onto a bus to hit a mall and find the exact item you were looking for at a discount price. Already, emerging websites like Amazon and eBay and Netscape, which launched its Netscape Navigator web browser, were making it easy and efficient for shoppers to spend their retail dollars. Commerce-starved China, with hundreds of millions of consumers with money to spend, was the perfect landing spot for Alibaba. Chinese consumers, flush with cash from good jobs that came with the country's transition from communism to capitalism, were immune to the dot-com bubble crash that wiped out billions in capital and took years to recover from. With additional venture funding rolling in, Alibaba soon rolled out new sites like Taobao.com, an eBay-like consumer-to-consumer online retail marketplace, and Ali Wang, an instant messaging tool that made it easier for consumers to research and shop for good deals online. A third-party payment platform called Alipay soon followed, giving Alibaba all the business tools it needed to dominate the Asian e-commerce marketplace. As the first decade of the new century progressed, Alibaba found a business partner from an unlikely but welcome source, the Chinese government. Suspicious of foreign business invaders, the Chinese government embarked on a campaign of strict internet control within the country, effectively locking out U.S. e-commerce giants like Amazon out of the Chinese market, and leaving that market wide open for Alibaba to prosper. It wasn't until 2005 when China gave the green light to a partnership between U.S. technology giant Yahoo.com and Alibaba. By that time, Alibaba was firmly entrenched as the leader in the Asian e-commerce market, and U.S. and European like-minded companies have been playing catch-up ever since. As the platform started growing, new sellers from outside China came on board. That turned out to be extremely beneficial for Alibaba, since they were able to leverage at the same time the plentiful supply from Chinese merchants, but also the demand for international products on the Chinese market. Alibaba has now become a key partner for every B2B seller willing to launch on the Middle Empire. It is also taking full advantage of China's monetary policy of competitive devaluation that mechanically favor Chinese exports. In addition to being a successful international trade enabler, Alibaba has managed to stay in a dominant position on a domestic scale. The main reason being that Alibaba's products are not indexed by Baidu's search engine, making the marketplace one of the most visited and searched websites in China. As a result, it serves more than 18 million buyers and sellers worldwide and counting. In a nutshell, Alibaba's success in the B2B sphere is linked to two things: favorable demographics. By targeting a huge untapped market on both sides, supply and demand, Alibaba was able to quickly consolidate its position as a market leader. Correlatively, they were able to scale up so quickly thanks to a peculiar revenue and cost structure with very limited ownership of assets. Alibaba's success paved the way for other B2B marketplaces operating in different markets and offering tailor-made features when Alibaba sticked to its mass market positioning. By 2014, the future was set for Alibaba on a worldwide basis, as its $25 billion initial public offering took Wall Street by storm, and flush with billions in investment cash, Alibaba reigns supreme as China's premier e-commerce company, and along with Walmart and Amazon, one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world. By 2019, Jack Ma makes good on his pledge to walk away from Alibaba. He does so in September 2019 and is succeeded by Daniel Zhang, now the current chief executive officer of Alibaba. By June 2019, Alibaba was smashing new e-commerce records. Its mobile user base had grown to 1.1 billion, while revenues had grown by 42%. The site now boasts 674 million active monthly users and represents 60% of the entire Chinese e-commerce market. Its employee base has grown to 86,000 staffers worldwide, and the company was delivering 57 million packages a year via its Cainiao network. The company's stock price is experiencing robust growth as a result. It's currently trading at $176 with a sturdy market cap of $458 billion. Wall Street analysts expect share price growth to continue, with an average analyst consensus calling for Baba stock to rise to $222 per share within a year's time. Even though Jack Ma is no longer calling the shots, Alibaba continues to thrive as one of the world's largest online commerce marketplaces, and should do so for years to come. That more than fulfills the founder's vision of an e-commerce platform for the Chinese populace. And make no mistake, Alibaba has achieved that goal and then some in just 20 years in business. So what do you think about Alibaba's entrepreneurial journey so far? Let us know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning exciting things from the world of commerce.